If you're like me, almost every single ad you get on YouTube now is centered around
Artless video generator is built for you.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet,
Monday.com is the best AI for work.
Imagine being able to build anything.
Jarvis, make her slim thick.
But if the constant drip feed of mind-numbing AI slop on social media isn't enough for you, then good news, it is now being used in commissioned Netflix projects. This isn't exactly breaking news, but I don't care, I'm still gonna piss and moan about it. Netflix's El Eternaut, or The Eternaut in English, is an Argentinian science fiction series made by Netflix and is one of the first major examples I've seen of generative AI being used and promoted by a streaming service. Now, leaving aside how ironic it is for a post-apocalyptic show to use technology that burns down rainforests, it just doesn't look very good. I mean, this sequence where we see the wide establishing shot of the city just looks like muddled goop to me, but maybe that's just a personal preference. Ted Sarandos, one of the heads of Netflix, was quoted as saying, "We remain convinced that AI represents an incredible opportunity to help creators make films and series better, not just cheaper." Now, obviously the better part is absolute bullshit. But the cheaper part is actually true. It's just a bit misleading. You see, while co-chief lizard person Ted Sarandos may claim AI represents an opportunity to help creators, it's really a bigger opportunity for the streaming services themselves. Netflix knows this better than anyone as the only streaming service that's actually profitable. A platform that started out by producing actually disruptive and evocative media has given that up for the quantity over quality approach. The same platform that made Mindhunter and Daredevil to compete with HBO and theatrical blockbusters is now trying to compete with YouTube by shoveling out mountains of dog shit to be used as second screen content while viewers scroll through social media.
Run, or you will die!
It's the same economy of scale that every AI solution relies on. Crank out as much meaningless drivel as possible, and if one AI pug video blows up, it doesn't matter if the other 999 fade into obscurity. Like, what the fuck is this, man? It doesn't matter if the quality of the content is good if it's drowning out every single piece of human-made content, because eventually something is going to blow up. A human simply cannot compete with the sheer volume of output an AI can spit out, and tech companies know this. The worst part about this, and it grinds my gears, is there are filmmakers who are willing and eager to adopt this tech. The famous example of this that springs to mind for me is The Brutalist, which famously garnered controversy due to its use of AI in tweaking the Hungarian pronunciation of Adrian Brody and Felicity Jones. Brady Corbett, the director of The Brutalist, as well as many others involved in the film, defended the use of AI, claiming it didn't affect the two leads' performances, but just tweaked the pronunciation of certain Hungarian vocal sounds, and to that I say bullshit. This may be a hot take, but if the pronunciation of Hungarian was so important to you, you should have hired a native Hungarian speaker for this role. Now, to that you may say, but it's such a small aspect of the performance, who cares? Well, Brady Corbett cares apparently. He cared enough to pay an AI software company to airbrush the accent, so it must have at least been a little important. Look, bad accents in film are nothing new. As a director, you never get to have it all. Part of making art is accepting the limitations of human error. Famous example, look at Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins. I know it's drawn out and it's played out and it's a dead horse, but whatever, I'm gonna talk about it anyways. They wanted him in the role, so they said, fuck it. It doesn't matter if his accent is worse than a high school theater kid's, just ship it.
You all blow me a kiss.
And yes, while it is painful to listen to sometimes, there is a sort of endearing quality about it and how hard he's trying. And it adds to, it adds to the film. Then you have Quentin Tarantino. Tarantino knew he wanted an actor fluent in German, French, and Italian for Inglourious Bastards to play Colonel Hans Landa? What's the fucking character's name? Hans Landa. Tarantino knew he wanted an actor fluent in German, French, and Italian for Inglourious Bastards, and was willing to reject A-list talent like Leonardo DiCaprio and Michael Fassbender because of it. Both of them had expressed interest in the role, and Michael Fassbender even appeared in the project, but he didn't play Landa because he didn't have those skills. The movie was almost never made because he considered that part to be unplayable until a relatively unknown actor, Christoph Waltz, came along and blew everyone away with his performance and won an Oscar because of it.
Here,
als neues Jahr.
Now, if this AI tech was around at the time and Leonardo DiCaprio was used, I'm sure he would have done a fine job, but we never would have gotten one of the best performances of the 21st century. It actually upsets me to think about how we might have been robbed of Christoph Waltz becoming an A-list star. Stories like that are a reminder to everyone who wants a career in film, who wants to be an artist, that despite how prominent nepotism is in Hollywood, if you have the talent, you can break through to reach that upper echelon by being in the right place at the right time. It's really scary to think about a world where nepotism becomes even more prominent in Hollywood because you're able to airbrush away a lot of the shortcomings of actors specifically, right? If you're able to use AI to generate accents or to even like create a performance in a different language, it basically eliminates opportunities for actors with those niche skills to break through, which is going to deprive all of us of, future stars. In my opinion, you can't really have it both ways. You can cast the known actor with the suboptimal accent, or you can cast a native speaker. The industry is hard enough already to break into for actors, so if you're going to cast somebody for their last name or Instagram follower count, then the karmic justice for that should be getting made fun of for their bad performance.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut up!
Back to present, I do sympathize with filmmakers who want to see their passion projects made. And in an industry of shrinking budgets and dying theatrical runs, it can be tempting to cut corners with AI. But we have to think about what kind of precedent this sets in the industry, because for all the talk about AI being an opportunity for filmmakers to reduce budgets, at the end of the day, we're never going to see a cent of those savings as creatives. The earlier comments from Ted Sarandos came after Netflix reported $11 billion in revenue in one quarter, which was a 16% jump from the previous years. If filmmakers let studios suppress the budgets of these productions, essentially requiring the use of AI, it will continue the same contraction in the industry that we've been seeing. Entertainment companies are now tech companies, and rather than creating something new, the approach to tech now has pivoted to extraction. Create something for the least amount of money while employing the least amount of people possible, decrease costs and inflate margins as much as you can, and redirect that surplus into the pockets of your executives and shareholders. For Netflix, as long as the monthly subscription still comes in, you're accomplishing your goal. That's the play. The actual creators are the primary obstacle and nuisance these executives have to face, because unfortunately for them, they need us, which is why they're all salivating at the possibility of slashing budgets and crews as much as possible, because the less creators with actual visions standing between them and their product, the better. If streamers are going to continue insisting on creating disposable crap that people can throw on their TVs while they scroll on their phones, then I want to see real people getting paid for their roles on these shows. The future of streaming content made with stolen AI slop while viewers scroll through their social media feeds of stolen AI slop is the most degenerate and depressing thing I can imagine. So anyways, go see Weapons in theaters and cancel your Netflix subscription, I guess. That's it.